Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me. My name is Michael and you are on the Blue Gem Tarot YouTube channel. So I thought today I'd do a reading concerning the subject of what does the family think about you. So this one is going to be more of a family question that's concerning your relatives, your like family of origin. It's more geared towards that. Of course, you can adjust the family word in accordance to what you believe it to be. That means if you consider your family as your spouse and your children, that would as well be something you could be looking for here in the reading. As I said, family is it's a concrete word, but you can adjust its meaning in accordance with your intention. My intention, however, was to set the reading to be somewhat of a description of that family's opinion of you, in the same way that I did with the boss reading. What do they think of you? We'll see whether there will be some emotions, how strong, and if I'll feel like clarifying some details, then I'll make sure to do that with some other cards. But as you can see, I have prepared for you 4 piles. First one is Carnelian, second one is Snowflake Obsidian, Rhodonite, and Picture Jasper. So take your time and pause the video in order for you to choose a stone or a pile that's associated with it. Please, if you're triggered or if you're not in a mental state that's like compatible with the information that would probably like show up here, I'd recommend you postpone watching this video. If not, and you want to see what's happening, then I guess you're welcome to do whatever you want. Just keep in mind I don't intend to trigger you or something if that's not what you want. Yeah, of course, this will not be an overly negative thing, I hope not, but I want to see what's the truth, and I hope you do so as well, but I'll try to balance things out. So let's jump right into the reading. Hello, first pile, the ones of you who've chosen the Carnelian stone. What's your family thinking of you? Uplift. You've got uplift and in reverse. Be bold and make the first move. You've got the Knight of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Okay. Okay, that's a relatively interesting combination of energies here. Let me set the card so that you can see the stone as well. The striking information, like the first thing that I saw here, was the fact that this first pile is someone in their family who doesn't like when things go in a very, let's say, not even traditional way, but you like to challenge what's there established in the world as like the norm, let's say. I see here someone who is perceived as very unconventional with the uplift. It's as though your family had an expectation of you, and as if the first pile was some sort of your parents like try to make you their trophy, or they try to uplift themselves in the eyes of the other people or the society, and they try to do that by using you somehow. Like they try to impose some sort of rule or influence over you in order for you to become what they want yeah, you to become, basically. So this pile feels to me like a very rebellious person. That's I believe both the truth when it comes to them perceiving you, and at the same time your character. I see that with the Knight of Wands as well. I see someone who isn't willing to take on the opinions of others, and doesn't like to be told what to do, especially with a, like, I would expect I would expect some sort of funny story like this. You being born like in a very traditional, let's say, not necessarily, but could be for some of you, Christian family, and you being that one black sheep of the family who just doesn't like settling for what's there for ages, you know? Very adventurous, by the way, on a whim for some sort of new endeavor, and you don't like when things are getting stagnant, or like you may not like things that are dogmatic, that are really heavy, and you know, all of this that would be considered like imprinting. Your family sees you as someone who is bold, definitely. Like I see here some sort of energy of fires, of a fire sign. Doesn't have to be for everyone, but be bold and make the first move. It's as if you are the first person like to step out of the paradigm, or how do you say that, where things went in a certain direction. You know, if you imagine metaphorically a train that has been going on its tracks in one direction, you are that person who was born and stopped that train, that uncontrollable like train that went um, like it was beyond someone's control, and you were that person who was born in that family who said, no, I'm finally ending that endless train that's going out of control. And this train represents to me like the patterns, the pre-established notions of what it is like to be a child, their expectations in the family, what they should and shouldn't do. Like I'd see this family being very like disappointed, but hang in there, because their disappointment has nothing to do with you. Their disappointment has lots in common with their expectations, with their own imprinting, and with their fear of gratifying and validating themselves through the societal expectation. That's why I saw the uplift card in reverse. It was as if your family expected some sort of, this child will be like our pride. This child will be our continuation of our, I don't know, beliefs. As I said, this could be like literally something linked to religion. Doesn't have to be. I just see here someone or the family on like going with their life in a very, don't don't like be upset, but mediocre way, like tradition, like mom, dad, we do that in the morning, we do that in the evening and afternoon, whatever. Like I didn't place the word right now, but okay. um, as I said, there is some sort of monotony, there is some sort of pre-established rule or structure that's basically corroding the family's authenticity, yours, and it's like um, casting a huge shadow over your like future prospects, and you are very bold by literally just being, because be bold and make the first move. You are the person who's not going to settle for all of this anymore. Knight of Wands, I would expect you to be very proactive and very direct in your pursuit for your own happiness, and basically showing that you don't care for what people think, say, and believe is right, because what's important here with the Page of Cups is what you feel, what you're being called to do, what you're being called to basically pursue. So, as I said, this pile is like, expect that the family that's that you were born in. I would expect even like you don't talk much with them. With the Knight of Wands, you could be even that person who left the family and basically made their own life, and rarely when you communicate with them, basically, because there is some sort of like bitterness, could be with the first pile. Bitterness in regards to like them not being able to accept that you are actually a different person. You are like a separate individual, or you have a separate identity, and you're no longer merged with our family, basically. As well, this family, by the way, like this is a very funny information that's coming through. They might perceive you as well as someone who's very lonely, very like stubborn. You could be even like, some of you, you will be perceived as having like throwing tantrums, or like having issues with your temper or something like this. Once again, this is more of their perception. I see someone here, like from the family members, not accepting the fact that you can be different from them, and they would perceive that trait as like a loss of temper or something like this. So there is definitely here an element of toxicity when it comes to their perception of you. With the 8 of sorry, I wanted to continue, basically. I distracted myself. They perceive you as alone, but that's their perception, because they cannot escape like their like cage of beliefs. In fact, you don't necessarily have to be alone in real life. They just have like a very limited perception of what you can do with those traits, when in fact, when you follow your emotion, when you follow your impulses and your like north star, you'll find like all that's necessary, the right people in amount, in the quality of the relationship. They have like some sort of fear that's dominating like the stage right now, and they believe that if you will not conform with those beliefs, then basically you are going to end up alone and something like this, and you'll starve, and you'll not have like a stable income or something like this. They might even fear for your security, like financial, relationship security, whatever it is the case. But this is more of a, like, as I said, a filter of fear that has been set or casted upon you, that has actually nothing to do with you. Some of you could even be with the 8 of Cups here, like you could have been stuck in that family for a very long time. That's not necessarily in regards to like the families, how the family sees you, but you could have been like stuck with them for a while. Like, as well, some information is coming here in the reading that they see you as very willed, strong-willed, having a very stubborn and strong vision, or if you want something really and passionately, then there is no one from stopping you, not even them. I see that. I sense here a very strong individual. That will be in regards how they see you and how the reading describes you. Someone who is set, like the level in which your family is set in their ways, that's exactly mirroring the power of you being set in your ways, being authentic in your own ways and finding your own path. It's as though this family wasn't expecting that they will meet like their nemesis when it comes to like they weren't expecting someone as stubborn as them. So that was like a mirror situation here. Like they impose on you their stuff, and you being the as much as stubborn as they are in imposing your own agenda, your own rules when it comes to your way of living. That was like a very it felt like a jewel for me. But as well, someone here is seen as a free spirit. There is no restraints that they can place on you to change your mind, something like this, basically. Which is funny, actually. I respect that you can pursue and go after your dreams, basically, no matter what people try to impose upon you. This will be like for a very few, but there is some sort of element here of some family or parents telling you that we raised you, we spent money on you, and we have invested, like something like this. I know it sounds a little sad, if not like twisted, but there is some sort of, we invested so much in you and you are like going with your life the way you want, and you're not even taking in account what we want you to become, something like this. Unfortunately, here with the Page of Cups as well, some of your families, like the ones with the first pile, will see your desires, your directions in life as not, maybe not so serious, maybe not as they want them to be. Like as as the as I probably told you already in the reading, um, I'm sorry to hear if that's the case, that your family is not very supporting in that domain. It's really, but I guess that's all your fight, that's all your road, and you had to like undergo that process of formation, let's say. And I believe those struggles in time will have like chiseled you, even if right now or in the past it wasn't as comfortable, because I see here a family who's not very supportive because of that difference in vision. I see here a family who's not very accepting, supportive, or encouraging of the person that's watching in the first pile, which is like, as I said, like it's stirring a little bit of emotion in me as well. But I guess that's really, that's what I saw, basically. Let's draw some more cards in regards to how they see you. So again, lots of cups energies, so interesting. Lots of cups, not really, but like the second one in such close proximity. By the way, you either you have a partner, by the way, or if you are single, then they might think like, this goes two ways. If you are single, then they believe that you'll find a partner that's in the same on the same wavelength as you are, and most likely the same opinion that's over you will consequently fall onto them. Like they would expect you to find the same match, and like you both defying their ideas, something like this. However, if you are with someone, that means they as well, like the message repeats itself. They might be perceiving that person in the same manner that they perceive you. So you might be very similar with that person, basically. And because of that similarity, they might be like imposing or thinking or judging in the same way they do with you, just what I told you here. Again, the Knight of Wands and the Two of Swords. You know, there is no coincidence here that the Scissors card showed. The Scissors reminds me of cutting off the relationship. So this is quite the good timing, to be honest. But with this situation, as I said, it feels as though some of you will have like cut the connection, or some of you literally cut the connection with the family here. I see that with the Two of Swords, basically, that's the Scissors card, and this could have been because of some sort of disagreement or very explosive like argument or something like this. Is this more of an energy of the past or present or the future? What's it? Five of Wands. I more so believe, or I'm inclined to believe that this is more pertaining to the past. There have been, there has been, there has been some sort of disagreement, or let's say conflict of ideas or beliefs or opinions here that could have led you to cut off either one family member, or like this cutting off was more like a general thing that was applied to the whole family. But like some of you could even have like grudges towards that family, something like this. And your family believes that you are very impulsive, you are very keen on protecting your own values and beliefs, and that you're not willing to give to give up basically. So you'd most likely protect yourselves, your beliefs, than accept theirs, and basically they do the same thing, and that is to be expected, to be honest. Like, if they are so stubborn in protecting and imposing some ideas, then I guess you doing the same is really mirroring, or like the same treatment that they are giving you. Again, the Page of Swords in reverse, that's like as you can see, a person writing. So there is definitely here some sort of message that you're not communicating with your family. Like, I don't know with how many of you this will resonate, but there is no sincere communication. If there is no, this could be like literally no communication. However, if you have communication with your family, this could be the case where the communication is very dry. It could be running very dry. You could be like very lightly communicating with them, asking how they're doing. They will say fine, and this, that, and goodbye. That's like the that's all. That's all I see. Like, there is some sort of element of formality in, like, again, so that's like scarily accurate how the cards complete themselves. So you, in communication with them, you are the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords has no emotion. The Queen of Swords just talks because she has to, because she's a little maybe forced. Like, it's a very, very dry, could be even argumentative or facts communication. It's forced, basically. I see here the family being or living in some sort of like parallel universe, basically, and you're living your life in your own way. Unfortunately, like, I don't see a bridge of understanding here. What else does your family think of you? Again, this is interesting because it follows like a message. There is, some of you will find that your families don't know much about you, and it's interesting because there is an element here reflecting as well, like the way they treated you in the past is like a reflection of the relationship which is in the present moment. Some of you didn't communicate with this family for so long that they're like waiting for you to come back or something like this. There is some sort of nostalgia or even regretting the way or the things that they said and did. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so there is definitely here like a family that has been left out, and they believe that you're not wanting to share the life details and your basically your the intricate details of what makes your life like going, basically. The Hermit is like as I said, them seeing you as a hermit is something that's indicative of me that you have separated from them, either physically. If not physically, then you're definitely like either avoiding them or not wanting to give them all the information that you have, something like this. You basically keeping to yourself, not showing your cards, and not wanting them to know everything and every single detail that's in regards to your life. Interestingly enough, I saw here an element of regret and sadness and the passage of time, in which they might have some of you, your families, would want um, to bring back to go back in time and to change their behavior because of that consequence in the present moment that has unfolded, basically. To me, it's a pretty depressing energy to see here, because we've got here the white card in reverse. That means they are left in the unknown for me in the reading, so they don't know much about you. They don't know the details, and the details, they don't know that because of their treatment and the way they treated you in the past, or the way they imposed a behavior upon you and something like this. Yeah, I definitely like, don't get me wrong, I'm just reading the cards. I don't judge. I totally understand if you don't want to talk to them. That's like your decision, and I've heard way too many times about situations like this in which the parents don't see their child, and they find themselves so surprised when the child basically refuses to communicate in the future, and the parents like remain alone or something like this, when it's actually not so like sad, because it was all a consequence of your behavior. I mean, the person's behavior, your family's behavior towards you, basically. And it's of no surprise to me why things unfolded the way they did, if that's like resonating with you. What else? So strongly here there is like an individual, this could be like the energy of all the family, but strongly I see here like it could be a female, by the way, like trying to contact you, or trying to still find a way to slither back into your life. Interestingly enough, the Tower went right out as a card in the reading. That means your family most likely doesn't want to upset you anymore, or like tries to find a way of, with a Magician in reverse, a very sly way to slide back into your life, or to like at least find some information or a reunion or something like this. So they don't want to be stuck in that energy, as I told you, but they as well are very cautious in approaching you with the Tower in reverse. That means they don't and will no longer seek to confront you in a very violent manner, and will try to like be very attentive, and but at the same time in reverse, the Magician, that's like a very sly and sometimes not a very sincere approach. It's more of a desperate cry for help here with those cards, basically, of trying to seek information like about you, find out. There is lots of hiding here, and there is like very lots of split energies, lots of chaotic energies, because we've got the Ten of Cups. That means your family deep down inside, beyond their expectations, beliefs, and whatnot, they truly want to feel belonging with you. They truly want to love you. And why I say it's like split, chaotic, because the Four of Pentacles, there is definitely some sort of smothering energies, like uh it's toxic, basically. So there is like a desperacy in that case. There is a desperation for a reunion and communication and belonging together, that's coming from not so a very authentic like feeling of just wanting you to be there. Like it's more of a desperation. Some of you, your family, could be fearing that they will end up alone or something like this, and they want to like desperately grasp you, your presence back into their lives, because they so much fear like either failure, like some of you this will be loneliness, some of you this will be like societal um, the society not validating them, like the people asking about you, like what are you doing, and they don't know nothing about you, and that makes them maybe like distressed and ashamed, something like this. And they want to hold you strictly, like have a hold on you. That's weird because yeah, the Four of Pentacles, and especially it's in reverse, like it's like a grasping energy, it's like holding on desperately, and at the same time it's so confusing because how can you hold on so desperately, be so toxic at the same time, and expect that the person that you are interacting with will like come back, which is like weird. Like it's not the first time that I come across such situations, but your family is not seeing you. He's not seeing what you want. He's not seeing that you have a separate life, unfortunately. What's the advice, or how should you behave towards them? Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, it depends on how you see it. I don't see the necessity of you cutting off completely from them. Sorry, that was a funny but never mind. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There is no need for you to return. There is no win-win situation if you were to return. I see a long distance communication, but I don't see, like, to be honest, I don't see a change in your behavior in which you have to like communicate more. No, I see the way things went. I see you as continuing to go that way. Ace of Pentacles tells me that you shouldn't be offering them the chance, unfortunately, as I said. High Priestess in reverse, it's a card of secrets, it's a card of information that's not being told fully. It's a card of you not exposing yourselves to the wrong people, basically. And the World in reverse as well, like it's a long distance card, like communication for me. It's more of a communication that's like on the holidays, when let's say some significant events happen, but I don't see here like coming close. In no shape, in no way, shape or form I see you giving back to them a chance that is worth basically giving. I see you as patiently waiting and just accepting the fact that from these people you'll not have validation, basically, which is all right, I guess. In your case, you'll have in your life situations or relationships that will replace like the care and the affection that your parents should have given you. I see you as not being alone, and I see you as definitely not losing track with your life because of that situation with your family. So overall, that was your reading. I hope it resonated, and I really hope it was of use to you. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, of course, and there is nothing that would be considered to say like it's set in stone. Like nothing in this reading is set in stone. If you intend on bettering your relationship with your parents, then those energies could definitely be shifted. Of course, that's all up to you. There is no necessity, nobody's telling you what to do, and there is no such thing as a should. As I said, their care towards you makes you responsible in no way. I believe so. And that you have your own life to go about. And there is no need to stop your life in order to please someone else's expectations, and I believe strongly that with the King of Swords in upright, right now, that you're on the right track. You were on the right track from the beginning, when you were following your own voice, your own direction, your own compass, and there is nobody in the right mind, or nobody has the right to steer you away from that. Not even your parents, under no circumstances or under no like pretense that they have given you like care or whatever. This is your life, so I believe you have the right to shape it the way you want and the way that would make you happy no matter what. Thank you so much for watching. That was your reading. I finally stopped talking, but there was so much to unpack here. Like, I believe if I were to expand on this reading, I would continue on like for a very long time. But I hope it was of help. I hope it was of use. I hope it gave you some sort of clarity. Like the video if you enjoyed what you saw. Consider commenting below your story if it would make you feel better, and if you feel called to it. I'd be great to hear from you. You could be even like dropping the first pile, and I'll understand that this is your case. I happen to remember the readings sometimes too well, because I'm trying to pick the cards for myself after some time, and I find myself remembering the combination of energies and whatever, and I'm like, okay, so I definitely can't pick for myself. Never mind. I hope you enjoyed it, though from judging from the cards it wasn't as enjoyable as I would expect, but that's alright. Like, we all have difficult situations. You'd be surprised how many go through the same thing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Bye! Hello, second pile, the ones of you who've chosen the Snowflake Obsidian. Welcome to the reading. Let's see, what does your family think about you? Non-attachment, okay. Confidence is your key to success. Okay, that's interesting. You've got the Six of Swords in reverse. That's really cool, to be honest. And the Three of Pentacles. And you've got the, I guess that's like the Knight of Cups. To be honest, like, okay, I will not give spoilers. Non-attachment. First card showing me non-attachment. I would believe your relationship with your family of origin to be not very close, let's say. With non-attachment, it's more of an energy, like telling me that we have our own way and you have your own, and we basically separate at some point in our like path. Confidence is the key to success. I see here, like, as a positive thing, I see here your parents or your family considering you either a very successful individual, or you are very assertive, or that you have managed to like make your own way or carve your own way in your life. This could be a combination of all the three. I see here someone who is very strong, basically, with the confidence is the key to success. That is being recognized by your family. Interestingly enough, with this pile, Six of Swords, it's as though if you were to enter a conflict with your parents, and if you did, like in the past, if they or if you lost the argument, it felt as though even if you lost, the conflict was not worth it and somehow you won. Something like this. Like, no matter how much people or this family tried to argue with you, it felt like no matter who's right or wrong, the scales somehow still ended up in your favor. I don't know why. Either because some family like believed or believes that you're really lucky in your life, or that you have like the rules and the way they function are very in fact different from your own. Like with non-attachment is some sort of feeling like this family trying to control you, and at the same time seeing that the way they want to impose that is not working or is not compatible. Let's say, if I'll give you an example, like for example, if you've heard how children are made to like clean up their room, for example, um if you clean your room, I'll give you some sort of candy, or I'll give you money, for example. Your family could have tried to do the same thing, but there was no effect. Which is funny because it felt as though your character, the way you're built, is way different than they were. Like the way they were educated, the way they grew up was very different, and it worked for them, but somehow it's not working on you. So there are two things that I see here in the second pile. The ones like, I don't know how to deal with that person. I don't know how to like make that child do stuff. Uh, it's like a desperate attempt to control you, and I can't. And therefore, non-attachment. I'll leave this situation as it is, and basically not interfere. Something like this. Like I see your parents like telling you to do something, you don't do it, and they're like giving you the side eye or something like this. I don't know why. It's some sort of energy like them telling you to do something and you say no, and you just end up looking in each other's eyes, and they're like, but I told you, and you're no, I'm not doing it. Something like this. And along the lines of, but I'm your parent, and you're like, and so what? You know? Very stubborn. But stubborn in such a way that you are not insisting on anything, you just don't conform. you know? It's not a stubborn in which you impose your own way. It's more like no way, if you were to look at the reading that way. Um, Funnily enough, like I see you advancing in your life on your own terms, in your own rules, and your family like giving up on controlling you, something like this. Or if this will not resonate, then there is like something else, like the moment in which your family interfered with your way of you made with the way that you made your decisions, everything came to a stop. And when that happened, your parents were like, but nothing is happening, like no progress is happening. Like I told them, I came into the situation, made the decision, told them what to do, and there was like a stop, there was like a standby, something like this. And basically when were left alone, you were back again moving in a direction that you desired. Very funny. Like there is a sort of very intrusive image that's coming into my mind. I see like a very like heavy rock that's like sitting in one place, and you being represented metaphorically by that rock, and like the wind, the water, like the nature trying to move that thing, like it could be like a mountain, like trying to move that mountain from their place. And no matter what's happening, like there is no change, like the mountain is not moving, the rock is standing still. I see you as someone who knows precisely what they have to do, and there is no changing, there is no manipulation that's going to steer you away from that. That's basically like this description that I gave you about your family. That was really funny, to be honest. Because it's not usual that you see those dynamics. Like, it's not even that's not usual, but I think I've never seen such a stubborn situation, like in which someone tried to influence you and you not being like very cohesive or very cooperative, let's say, which is a good thing, I believe. If you are able to still pursue what you want, then I believe strongly that in your life you'll do the same. And if you were able to stop in tracks and basically not look for like faults in your way of doing things, then I believe in life you'll go very far. Three of Pentacles, like, there is no cooperation here with your family. Either it is from the past or the present, but I believe your family feels like they cannot interfere, they cannot tell you what to do, because it will be pointless, basically. You have some sort of, as I said, there is strongly here the information that's coming that you have your own way of building things or making things work. For example, you could be that person who's not, let's say, earning money in a conventional way, and they might try to give you advice, or let's say give you some sort of like reply that you should be doing that and that because we want you to have money, for example. And you being like, okay, but I have my own way. And time passes, you have money, you could have even more than they had. And it's like, I don't know how, but they managed, like your parents being, they managed to still make that money no matter if we interfered or told them like our opinion. Something like this, basically. So, unfortunately, or as I said, probably fortunately, there is some sort of separation, wall, or barrier that's in between you and your family, in which this wall is basically created upon this idea that we have our own ways of making things work and you have your own ways, and we have each of us, we have different lives, we have different perceptions. The positive thing that I want to say here, that's more in regards to this vision of your family, is no matter what they tell you, no matter what they believe the way about your way of making your life work, they deep down understand that this is your own individual way of living, and they're like a bit proud and at the same time like accepting of the fact that it is not that you didn't like, let's say, comply, or how do you say that, when you just listen and like refuse to listen yourselves, basically. I can't find the word. You're not obedient, and for some reason you have gained some respect for not being obedient from your family. That's what I saw. It's like a respect, but at the same time like a bit, it's still mixed with disagreement, but let's be honest, it's still something that exudes a little respect. And yeah, she or they got the backbone to basically accept the fact that uh, she'll, why the she, basically, I don't know, they accepted the fact that you've got your own life separate from theirs. Let's see with some other cards. By the way, I said she because I saw that lioness card. I know it's a lion, but maybe why not? It could be a lioness as well. I saw here as well two female characters, but it doesn't mean that it's like only... I don't like to place genders on my readings. This reading could be watched as well by a male. I have nothing like... I have no issues with that. It just slipped in the moment. How do they see you? Let's see what else the cards will tell me about their opinion about you. As I said, this Ace of Cups is like a validation with the fact that you are making your own way of living work for you specifically. Like I sense here a sentiment, I don't even know if that word exists. I sense here an emotion of being proud, but secretly, like we don't want to admit the fact that we actually didn't enjoy the fact that you weren't cooperative with us, but we're proud nonetheless that you've made your life work. Something like this. By the way, with the devil in reverse, but it's there is some sort of as well emotion of we don't want to steer you up, but we know that you have your own, like, let's say, demons, because the devil in reverse is like them acknowledging the fact that you've got a very strong character and that you're willing to say no in a very aggressive manner if you are not listened to, if you are not accepted the way you are. But they don't want to steer you up, and basically they acknowledge that, they see that part in you, they see that assertiveness, they see that strength of character, but at the same time they haven't seen that, like, they haven't seen the full-fledged devil, let's say, or they are really afraid to see it, because this information is very specific and funny at the same time. But I believe this pile, if you were to be if your family were to interfere and set obstacles in your goals, then you'd be very direct in your reaction or response to this action that's directed towards you. Like they don't want to mess with you. That's what I saw here. As I said, Six of Swords, you've got your own life, you've got your own, like, values, you've got your own beliefs and your own strategies when it comes to making your life together. Go ahead, do that, make it work for you, but will not, like, it's more of a neutral, it's not like disappointment, there is no, like, I don't sense here strong, like, disappointment or something like this. I just see here like a quiet quiet disagreement, in the sense that we maybe like to go around and make our life work in a different way. But of course, if you've got your own, then this is more of a neutral, like, attitude. It's more like, okay, if it works for you, we're like a bit cold about this, like we are not specifically either yes or no, but yeah. With non-attachment here, it's like, as I said, separation. They believe that you've got your life together, as I said, with the sun. Like, they believe that you can make, you can create for yourselves a life that is enjoyable, that is successful, whatever that means in their life. I believe this strongly associates with happiness. That means you creating your own spot, you basically building your life together, it being having a house, having a place of residence, having a job that's fulfilling, maybe having a group of people that will basically either entertain you or just be fun as a relationship, or just that, like, they strongly believe that you will make your way, like you'll fight for your own spot, something like this. By the way, with the Eight of Cups, I feel as though your parents, you're not very open, maybe with your parents, like emotionally, you're not very vulnerable, and they might feel that, they might see that. They just know that you'll not open up, like, you are not open with your parents about your, like, maybe vulnerabilities, your fears, your, like, anxieties, you know. You'll not be openly acknowledging those in front of your parents. Like, I would see that relationship with your parents being a bit dry because of that, because it involves no emotions, no vulnerability, and when there is no such thing, I guess the relationship goes in a, like, dry manner, because strong and positive and long-lasting relationships require emotions and especially vulnerabilities, being vulnerable and whatever. Again, the Hierophant, which is interesting. The Hierophant is like, when I think about this card, it reminds me of a very strong, a very dominant person, a very strongly, a well-respected person. That's what I saw here. That was striking. As I said, this family is very respectful towards you, about you. There is lack of communication here that's entering the reading, with the World in reverse, with the Ace of Swords in reverse, and especially with the Fours. I feel as though you don't communicate as much. There is some sort of lack of information between you, and that's like interesting to see in the reading, especially with those three cards. It feels as though they're not up to date with what's happening in your life. And I could say that this is a bit bothering them. At the same time, I don't see them like having the courage to confront you in a direct manner, to say that why don't they have some information about you. But I definitely see here them being a little bit upset because you don't communicate with them and that you've got your life separate of them, something like this. Funnily enough, there is as well like an element of regret that you're no longer like keeping in touch with them. Like, I'm not kidding. These three cards were so specific. That was a strong, specific message that came in the reading. Some of you, your parents, your family, like whatever this is, will believe that you're so busy. You're too busy to basically communicate with them. That you are. This could be, some of you, this will be like an excuse. Your parents, you'll believe that you are keeping excuses to not communicate with them. Some of you, though, will believe that you're really busy in your life and that you don't have time to really communicate with them. As I said, I tried to pick some cards to understand which is the case, but the energy here is like split. Some of you will basically be occupied with work. Some of you will be very just stubborn to not want to give details about your life. That's what I saw here. Which is like, you'll see which is the case. You'll basically pick the situation here. Because with this card I see you as having time but just not wanting or just not feeling like doing it, something like this. What else does your family think of you? The Star and the Magician. Oh, which is interesting. Major arcanas, by the way, and I don't know with what you are occupying yourselves, but the Star and the Magician is like they're very magical cards, to be honest. Like, I would expect some of you to be working with witchy stuff, for example, your parents like knowing that and being like, I don't know what to understand and what to believe of that. Of course, this doesn't have to be the case for everyone, but I strongly here see with the Magician and the Star, some of you knowing things about witchcraft, some of you like being into that domain of work. This could be like as well tarot cards. This could be like magically unknown stuff, esoteric stuff. It could be even deep psychology or something like this, like your parents knowing that you delve into those things and that you like basically studying those. At the same time, they don't have much information about you in regards to these, because you know this is palmistry or whatever it's called, and like scrying, and it's very strong associations with magic, with the occult, with the realms of unknown, the mystical realms, and all that's concerned, as I said, with magic. You could be definitely a witch or something. But as I said, that's not necessarily for everyone. If this is not your case, then your parents, most likely your family, doesn't know what's happening, like with what you are like occupying your time. It's like really obscure, like when it comes to your activity or what you're doing, like your hobbies, the way that you enjoy spending your time. It's like they don't really know what's happening. They don't really know with what you're occupying your time, though they know that time passes and that you have to do something and that you are definitely doing something something like this. But it was funny because I saw here the witchery thing. What else do they think about you? So with the Seven of Swords, interestingly enough, you could have either you could have like introspective abilities or qualities, or your family sees you as a very deep individual, a very contemplative person, like a person that's very like wise, with the star magician and the swords, especially like this seven and this representation, you being very like, it's like giving me hermit energies, like someone who's very thoughtful, who thinks stuff through very much and likes to reflect, contemplate, and introspect a lot. Six of Pentacles tells me that you've got your life like, you may be alone, but you've got like prosperity, you've got... What's this Six of Swords all about? Because I'm not sure what I see here with this card. Nine of Swords. This specific Nine of Swords is more like, it's a more dogmatic card if you look at it. In regards to like the Nine of Pentacles, it's more of like having your life. I'm repeating myself, don't mind that. But someone who, this could be like literally having some sort of beliefs and strong like ideals and ideas in general with which you conform your life, and that you're really rooted into those, and that you've got your life going with these at the same time in the background. Like, it reminds me of a situation in which, for example, you could believe, let's say, for example, in manifestation, yeah, and your parents could not necessarily believe in the same thing, but when they see you that you're really happy with it, with that belief system, and that you're really thriving on those beliefs, and that you're like making your life successful because of those, and that it's really working out for you, then they're like, okay, it works for them, that means it's all right. Like, they have a way to fit this ideology into their life, and it works for them specifically. And I guess if they're happy and they're like prosperous and they're not starving, then I guess that's really lucky, and that's like fortunate to for them to have. That's basically what I saw with the Nine of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. It's like they've got their own universe, their own parallel universe in which they live in, and that's, if that's making them happy, if that's making them not starve, as I said, if they have a home, if they are happy with it basically and they feel fulfilled, but then I guess that's their way. What else? Four of Pentacles, what does it mean? So again, because of that energy of, as I said, not communication, not wanting to communicate, or them not having the information about you. They might be adhering to some sort of indirect ways to find out what's happening in your life, but will avoid to do that directly. If you have a spouse, if you have someone like that is represented by the King of Pentacles, and that is like literally an earth sign, they could attempt to basically find some information through them. This could be like a third-party situation in which they try to find a way to still find a way to get information about you, about what's happening in your life, but doing so in a very indirect manner, like them trying to not do that directly. Like they will not approach you and ask you what's going on. They will find most likely a way to, this could be like literally even work. If you're working somewhere and then they know someone from that work, they'll try to ask that person about you and like say something along the lines, we've tried contacting them and they're not responding and we are like worried, let's try to just tell us what's happening with them, we're just curious, something like this. I see someone trying to find information through other means other than just asking you directly, which is funny. What else do they think about you? Again, the information that's coming here is the fact they might, by the way, this is more of how they see you, doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but they might see you as someone who is willing to, let's say, not play by the rules but survive, something like this. Again, that's like what I see here with the Five of Pentacles. Like, you'll most likely do what's necessary in order for you to survive, and be very like survival oriented rather than accepting of the situation as it is and going along and trying to like survive in it and accommodate. No, it's more likely that they see you as someone who's going to step forward and say what's on their mind and what they don't like, and be very cutting about it. With the Queen of Swords, with the Two of Swords, like, you'll not accept to be stepped on, you'll not accept your boundaries to be violated, basically. And unfortunately, or let's say fortunately, depends, they see you as being more oriented towards money, towards your own comfort, rather than being emotional and being, let's say, very sincere, you know. But that's more of their opinion, and it doesn't have to be necessarily the reflection of the reality. That's more like, as I said, in the niche of the question that I have said here. So if you're not like this and you have other like qualities that they basically don't see, then disregard that message. That was more of what they saw. Advice card of how you should behave with them. Again, I don't see here a very active approach when it comes to messaging them. I definitely see you communicating with them. That could be like video calls. For some of you, you could be like meeting them in very like specific periods of the year. Like, this could be holidays, but this is all temporary. This is all for one moment and you are back again with your own life. Definitely communicate with them, but I don't see here like you being very touchy-feely with them and you going on and continuing your life separate of them. That was basically your reading. By the way, yeah, very fiery energies. That's like you being in and out. Holidays, as I said, like you not living with them for too long. That's what I saw, definitely, because you doing that will not have a very good effect, whatever the case may be. but that's what I saw here. That was more in advice situation in regards to the advice cards. That was basically your reading. I hope it resonated, and I hope you found some clarity in the way that they perceive you. Be sure to like the video, I'd appreciate it a lot. Comment below your story if you feel called to do so, and if you're not subscribed, definitely consider to do so, because I release more content like similar to this one, and I'd be glad to have you in my community as well. Thanks for watching and stay safe. I definitely believe you can do that with those combination of cards. But yeah, take care. Bye. Hello, third pile, the ones of you who've chosen the Rhodonite stone. Let's see, what does your family think of you? You've got ameliorate. You've got have faith in your dreams. You've got the 5 of chalices. You've got the judgment in reverse, and you've got the lovers. So let me tell you something about this pile. A very strong, if not like pervasive energy of grief, of happy memories, of childhood memories, of course, of you being that child when you were born, of being that happy event, that very exciting and life brightening thing that happened in your family. I see you as being like that ray of light when you were born, basically. Especially, like, bear with me because I have lots of information here, but especially with ameliorate. So that means when you were born, the life that was like happening at that time with your parents, with your family, if it were stressful, if it was stressful, then the moment when you were born, you basically had a huge impact on that stress level, and they have managed to somehow recommit themselves to living again, something like this. With the ameliorate as well, it's like you gave your family a hope, a chance, a really strong willingness and desire to basically live on, continue on, and see that the stresses that they went through were really worth it. With the ameliorate as well, I see them as really wanting to make their lives and your life happy, and that happened especially because of the fact that you were born. There are really strong elements of grief here in the reading. The moment that you left, most likely you left because of the 5 of Cups here. It's as though all the light in the universe like dimmed out. There is strongly here, like, this will be more of an energy of like, it's grief and it's attachment. Attachment, maybe for some of you this will not be always healthy attachment, because it's such an attachment to a degree in which you can't leave the family home, you can't leave the family life, because these people were so setting all their happiness in their life on you, something like this. Have faith in your dreams means as well the moment in which you were born, then a new cycle has taken place, a new cycle began, and basically they saw the possibility that they can make things work out in their favor, in your favor, together. Like, if you left, that's of course if you left, but if you're still in the family, that means people are very attached. Like, this is like, it's almost like sifting through and reaching my emotions right now, and it's like a bit intimidating, to be honest. These people are unwilling to let you go for some reason, because of that ameliorate, of course. Give me a moment. I hate it when the background is noisy. Because of the ameliorate, because of that moment in time, of that like anchor in which they have set like their happiness on you, the moment that you leave their life, their life comes back to that point before you were born, like of stress, of not understanding why we live, why we have to do this, something like this. And I don't like this is beautiful, to be honest, to see that level of love, especially with the lovers. That means like there is harmony, there is like in their perception, there is like a bit of cooperation and understanding as well, compatibility as well. If you want to say that you want to live with your parents, and like this would be the ideal case, but if you have like things in mind that are beyond your parents, of course that's all right and that's normal. But there is a strong feeling of your parents not wanting you to go, not wanting to let go, basically. That's like weird, because as I said, like the judgment, your family has a strong attachment, your family is very used to having you and cannot let you go, cannot see their life going further, because, as I said, because of the things that I have said. Holding on to you and not letting you go, it's something that is really characteristic of this pile of your family in regards to you. Overall, this is a very positive thing. Some of you, your families, will be wise enough to accept the fact that they will have to find a way to be happy with the fact that you are gone, in the fact that you have your own life and your own family to go by. But unfortunately for some of you, your parents are like very, this is more of an attachment that's going in the shadowy spectrum, meaning that you will have to deal with the fact that your parents will not want to let you go and create your own separate life because of that. Some of you, your parents, by the way, like, see if that resonates, but they were unable to fit in fully in the society, and therefore have created that relationship with you to be all and everything, all of their fulfillment, and they wanted to make you that person who'll meet their needs. Like, that's like, if that resonates, I'm sorry, but definitely it's something that I saw here in the combination of cards, meaning that some of you, your parents had some sort of plan to basically have you by their side, and you're not living your fullest, let's say, potential, your dreams, because of them wanting you to stay besides them. Like, this is going in the two ways. See for what message you are ready, but yeah, that's what I saw. Not wanting to let you go. And it's interesting enough, like, this will resonate thankfully for the huge majority, but your parents want to see you separate, want to see you having your life together, and basically will even propose to you ways and resources in order for you to move on. Like, I strongly see here the fact that I'm thankful that the majority will be like, we understand that you have your own life, we understand that you have to create your own family if you so desire, and will even be cooperative on finding ways to basically support you in your pursuit of your dreams, even if it means leaving the household. Like, I see here a family that's, let's say, even in, like for some of you will have the resources, will have the influence or the resources in the relationship, let's say, to help you arrange your life financially or in regards to like finances, job or career. Okay, that's as well a very interesting message. To be honest, I wasn't expecting such intensity here. But your family is very afraid to let you go, specifically on top of the things that I have told you, because they are afraid for you to not get hurt or to not get disappointed or to not be abused in a relationship with an emperor in reverse. Like they want you to have the best in your life. They might be even preparing here with these cards, with this card, like heritage or like sum of money. By the way, like they wanting to create and orchestrate the life of your dreams, and it being like safe physically. I see here an element of safety and them wanting to make sure that the partner that you end up with is safe and that is trustworthy and that is not abusive with you. And like this is like heritage to me, to be honest. Like this chest and those cups, no matter if it's cups, but I see your parents like giving you money when you leave or when you basically let go of your hometown or something like this. If you haven't already, of course. Sorry, as you can see, the Knight of Cups. So that's definitely like movement, like that's like a new cycles in your life. You packing your stuff and going, something like this. This could be even like sentimental gifts they could be giving you, or like having some sort of memory charms or uh, something like this. I saw that with the Knight of Cups because that Knight of Cups carries quite a lot. This could be your luggage, by the way, and the cups here with the chest, like your family, when they will let you go, if they haven't already, most likely they'll give you some sort of very strong and reliable support, either it being like in money or emotional support. Like your family, like if your family is not this, this most likely is not your pile, but oh my god, those pigeons. Most likely, like your family is very supportive emotionally, materially, but they're very afraid to let you go, especially because they perceive the world to be a very dangerous place, and they have heard much about like abusive partners and so on. Like they're very let's say mentally focused and interested in creating the best possible scenario when it comes to arranging your life. Like I see here a very, some of you, this is like a very beautiful supportive influence that's coming from your parents when it comes to arranging your life. And like I strongly sense here them being very afraid for you to get hurt. The justice in reverse, like they are very like attentive and like on the lookout for things to go wrong, because they believe the world is like a place that's very unsafe and that you should be guarded, you should be kept safely, and yeah, you should be like they see you and that's like their desired vision that they see about you. They see you as being surrounded with not only material abundance, safety and relationship, but you being like guarded from all the sides, you know. Four of Wands, that's like having relationships beyond theirs in order for you to protect yourselves, something like this. Like your family is very very concerned with your safety. That, like I saw that here, and overall this pile has a very positive, if not like overly caring family that's like watching over them. With the Ten of Pentacles, as I said, like their support, especially financially here, like as well as emotionally, is coming through as very strong. Your parents like are willing to give you a lot. Chariot in reverse. Like they don't want, this is like a very specific and at the same time interesting message in concern with, they don't want to for you to have unknown or very like unsafe connections that would lead you to engaging in some sort of risky or unsafe activity. Like you see, I see your parents being a bit overly careful, a bit overly possessive when it comes to as well like safety, where you are. It's like I would expect this family to be like calling you all the time, for example, like writing to you messages of where are you and what are you doing, to the point that it's a bit suffocating. um, Remember I told you about the material and the emotional support? You've got it both here, but it's a bit like overly, like over the board, you know. There is a feeling of suffocation here, and you not having your own life separate of them, and you desiring that separation because you want to build things by yourselves. Like as I said, weirdly enough, the Eight of Wands is like, when will I have my life together without it being influenced by my parents? Like when will I have to set the foundation for something that is not influenced by their opinion, by their um, presence, influence, and let's say, yeah, interference, let's say. Like you're grateful, you acknowledge all of this, but it feels like your life is a bit out of control and you want to take initiative in building something that is really yours, and it's not like it's not coming from them, you know. By the way, your situation could be of someone who needs some time and space that's like separate from your parents or your family, in order for you to understand what you really and truly want and desire in your life, because your emotional side could be covered, or you overall, your perception, you could be overwhelmed with what other people think, what your family thinks, what your family wants from you. Their overall opinion and influence is really positive, but it strongly comes in here as an influence that's like overly suffocating, and you can't understand what are you wanting and what they want, you know. And because it's coming from a space that's really positive, it's really hard for you to deny and to basically refuse their help, because you understand that it's for your good, for your greatest good, whatever. But at the same time you crave that, you want that sense of freedom, you know. You could be even suffering a bit because of that enmeshment for some of you. Like you want to break that chain, you want to break that habit of them interfering into your life, of them giving you everything on a golden platter, you know, something like this. And you want to build a life that's really strictly created by your own rules, you know. You crave independence from your family, most likely. And you want to make money that's like, it's my money, you know, it's the way I made them, it's not the way that my parents created. Like you don't want money streams that are generated from your family. Though you are grateful and accepting of their help, you really want something that is built by your own will, let's say, by your own initiative, you know. Let's not forget that this is more of a what do they think about you. So you could be more like, you could be like done with that situation with your parents, like you're a bit disappointed by that, but at the same time you're like, but I don't know what to do about it, because I don't want to be negative and not express my gratitude towards the fact that they helped me. But at the same time you feel as though this is like interfering, and it's like not giving you the emotional satisfaction that you are like deserving. and that you're receiving when you really crave your create, not crave, when you carve your own life and you create your own path, you know. 10 of Wands, that's like burden, like that's like weighing on your heart, you know, the fact that you cannot like separate truly from them in a matter that is like healthy, and that you don't know how to separate your needs, your desires and goals from theirs, something like this. Let's continue on, however, with their opinion, with their vision of you. Knight of Swords, that means they see you as someone who's very adventurous, who's ready to jump into the into the depths of the unknown, and that's like a bit scary for them to admit that you are very adventurous, and that this could like set you up for some unknown factors or situation in which, as I said, this threatens their sense of safety when it concerns literally you. Seven of Pentacles, like, and the Lovers as well. Like, you are a very free spirit, like you're a very adventurous, very open to life, open to living, you know. They see that the moment that they let you go, or that they basically give you this key to your freedom, you're going to blow up some sort of thing. Like, they see you as being suspended in that sense of control, or let's say predetermined trajectory of your life. And funnily enough, they don't want to give you that freedom because they are so afraid that you'll like jump in everything all at once and get yourselves in trouble. Most likely they would wanna unfortunately see you more in the Hanged Man energy, like you being in one place, you living in one place, you doing something that's predictable, and that's like on their radar, considered to be safe, and therefore they don't have to worry about it, you know. The blank card. To be honest, that should be indicative of the fact that your parents or your family is really, let's say, feeling really powerless to the fact that you've got, beyond that message with the key, you really got all the freedom in your life, and they can lose that any moment. Like, this luxury of controlling you, they can lose that at any moment. This should be indicative of the fact that you are really free, and you have been free all along, that you can do whatever you want, and that it's up to you to create your own path and to live your life in accordance with what you believe to be enjoyable, fulfilling, beyond your parents' opinion, family's opinion. So the moon came here in the reading. That means like you don't have to settle for your parents, your family's fears. Weirdly enough, this pile feels to me like you could be an adult person, but the care and the let's say the watch that's giving your parents, the watch that's holding your situation, like that's over you and your situation, feels like you are like 18 years old, to be honest. And it's a little annoying and bothering because you can't have your life going because of their influence, something like this. Basically, you can't plan, you can't take action upon something that's immediately not notified and known by your parents, something like this, which is a bit annoying because, you know, you might be not necessarily like little, you know, uh, like you have your own life, and they have to understand that with the tower there will be elements in your life that are unpredictable, that will be basically beyond their control, and that they have to come to terms with the fact that they have to trust you. They have to understand that you've got your own, you're responsible for your own life, you know. and that change is really a constant. You know, you can't create and orchestrate your child's life in such a way that is predictable. Change is a constant, basically. This is the death card. That means no matter how much you control things, it's all an illusion, and the more you try to do that, the more it is shown to you that you have no control, and that your parents have to understand that you're grown up and that you have your own decision to make of how you will go about and build your life, you know. They have to give that freedom to you. They don't have to hold you so tightly, you know. I sense here a very strong emotional connection with your family. Like, this is the case of a family that's very emotionally connected, understanding. The celebrations or the holidays that you spent with them are really enjoyable, are really something that is really brightening your heart, you know. It's the celebration with them are really colorful, you know, are really strong, are really, it's not a situation in which you go to a holiday and it's like a burden, and you don't want to meet other relatives. It's more safe, you know. As I said, like the Two of Cups, this situation is more of an understanding, a feeling of connection and understanding that's like overall flowing into your family, you know. Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. So that's the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups could be represented by your mother. That means your mother could be a water sign, or has a overall, could be a water sign or an earth sign. But interestingly enough, your mother could be having a very strong emotional connection with you. That was a very dense reading, to be honest. I wasn't expecting such energies to show up in the reading. Very emotional energies, and as well unique. That's definitely something that you don't see every day. I believe that there is a point of realization with the star that I saw that card, in which your parents will see that they can trust you enough that you can basically create a life that's even beyond their expectation of how good it could be. Again, Magician star, Eight of Pentacles. The story that they have in their mind about your situation has to go. That's, if they, like, this is more of a message that's directed towards them. I would advise you to like trust yourselves and make decisions that are like in alignment with your own voice, inner guide, compass, or emotions, and that they have to let go of that control over your life, because it will happen sooner or later. And if they don't do that faster, then they are the ones who will get hurt, because that loss of control will happen for you, definitely, with the star and the Magician. Like, this will not take very long, let's say. And it will be very heartbreaking for them to understand that you cannot be under their hold permanently, you know. So I would advise you to really enjoy your life, maybe create a transition if you feel like it, of course, because that's not necessarily your responsibility. You could be very cutting in the sense that you decide to have a discussion in which you will no longer adhere to their control, even if it is in a positive way and you acknowledge it and you're grateful for it. But you could be as well very slow in your approach to liberating yourselves from their influence. But no matter what is the case, I believe that with those combination of cards, you will be given the freedom that you crave, if you crave it, of course, and that no matter what's happening or what will happen, you will gain that, and your parents will just have to settle for your life, your dreams coming true. There is no other way that this is going. That's basically what I saw here in the reading. I hope it helped. I hope you enjoyed. That was a very intense pile, to be honest. Leave a like if you enjoyed the messages that I conveyed here in the reading. If you're not subscribed, make sure to do so if you want to see more like this, more content like this. Comment below your story if it resonates. Like, this is the third pile, if I'm not mistaken, and just write the third pile. I'll understand that this is your case. I'd be very interested to see the people who are resonating with this one, because it's definitely some unique stuff that I saw here. Again, I would expect not everything to resonate, that's alright, but if you saw like something that's pertaining to your case, I'm very grateful to hear that this was yours. Yeah. Hope to see you in my next videos. Till then, stay safe and take care of yourselves. Bye. Hello and welcome to the reading fourth pile, the ones of you who've chosen the picture Jasper stone. Let's see, how does your family see you, or what does your family think of you? First of all, you've got integrity. So without me forgetting what this message is about, let me tell you something, that integrity is a very strong card to fall here in their vision. That means they see you and they very much respect the fact that you've got integrity, or this card shows me that you've got very strong morality, or having very strong beliefs in which you believe in. Yeah, that was a very weird. Never mind. You've got a lot of respect for your beliefs. That's what I saw here, and basically it's telling me that you are fortunate to have a family that's acknowledging that, like seeing those beliefs and giving you the validation and a feeling of, yeah, it's great that you have those, like continue on, you know. You've got, it's time to take action, and I'll keep it in reverse. You've got the King of Pentacles. Okay. You've got the Six of Cups. Yeah, it's in reverse. And you've got the Knight of Cups as well in reverse. Keep in mind that I will continue on to draw some cards in regards to your situation with this one. If I'll change it, I'll see, but yeah. First of all, there was a strong feeling, as I said, of respect that's coming in the reading with this first card, which is integrity, which is a good thing, I believe. In your parents' eyes, you are seen as someone who's very esteemed. It's time to take action in reverse. I'll come back to this one. King of Pentacles. That means several messages. Your parents see you as, sorry, what am I saying, parents? Family. Most likely, but this is most likely parents. With King of Pentacles, someone who makes a lot of money, who can make a lot of money. Either if you are not making a lot of money right now, or that if you're not stable in your income, they believe that you've got lots of skills, lots of talents, and overall the capacity to make large amounts of income with this card, basically. Interestingly enough, there is a message that's coming here with integrity, meaning that they believe that your money making and your capacity to make income is directly influenced by your integrity. That means you are, if you're okay with your conscience, then basically you are okay with lots of money as well. That means there is some sort of bridge between your beliefs, your ideals, and the income that's coming to you. So I see here a person that's making money that's directly either linked to spirituality, morality, or their belief systems, or something in regards to this. Interestingly enough, you've got the Knight of Cups, which to me, to be honest, represents a person that's very realistic at the same time, but disappointed, or maybe prone to being disappointed in life. Like your family could see you as someone who, while has money, may not have usually like emotional fulfillment. Let's say, like, you emotionally could either be like fluctuating, or you being emotionally unstable with the Six of Cups, or you being literally alone. Interestingly enough, I saw it's like this second card with it's time to take action, and it was in reverse. Like, I'm not sure what to believe, but because it's in reverse, it makes me think that your parents, your family sees you as someone who has as well some sort of specific way in which they make their life go and work and function, and they don't want to interfere with that. Yeah, those were interesting cards to fall, especially that one in reverse. Let's continue on. For some reason, there is some sort of element here coming of loneliness. I don't know who you are and what's your case, but it feels as though your romantic situation is seen by your parents as being as seen as complicated. Why I'm stumbling with my words, I have no idea, but there is a complication here with the relationship for a situation for some reason, and I don't know why, but your family sees you as someone who isn't able to really give their heart to someone, and sees you as someone who's really mysterious and knowledgeable, but at the same time lonely. I don't know why, but that's what I sensed here. Like, you being that like child here that's represented, like having all the toys, but having no one with whom you can share those. Why that showed up in the reading, this is really, it's not suspicious, but it's like a little sad. Like, it's a little some energy here of loneliness that's coming into the reading. You struggling emotionally as well is something that is being perceived by your parents, is something that's bothering me, that's like dominating the reading. What else? How else do your parents see you? As I said, so the moon is, for me, especially with this representation of water, like you being haunted by some either past, could be like past mistakes, could be past situations, or literally could be like you being haunted by the past, or being unable to fully live in the present moment. It's as though your memories, your could be for some of you like traumas, are really calling you back, or like trying to get a hold of your present moment and really interfering with your happiness that's in the now, you know. With the Queen of Wands, it's like no matter how much you try to be happy, no matter how much you try to separate yourselves from that, it's almost impossible to let go, you know. The moon is all about the secrets, the unknown, the subconscious mind, and that it feels as though there is something that has happened in your life that's like dragging you down, and that family of yours is really good at noticing that. Like, it's in regards to your emotions, definitely. Like the Ten of Cups, like why this pile is strongly suggesting that you have some sort of blockage in regards to family, to romance, to finding your love, something like this. Like I see, why is this the case? I have no idea, but your family feels like they know, they are very aware of that. I don't believe this is recent. I believe this is very deep. This is from your past or something like this. And the King of Pentacles, this could be a male that's watching, but then again, I'm not saying that this is only for male audience. I'm just saying, I'm just attributing the majority of energies that I see, because I see here as well lots of female energy, but the King of Pentacles reminds me of someone who's like focused on finances, and I saw a male figure, but yeah. As I said, you don't have to be male to be watching this video. Queen of Pentacles. So you most likely are very focused on the material, with a slight inclination towards spiritual, but at the same time, your rewards, your goals, and your let's say fulfillments are really coming from the material world, from the material realm. And for some reason your emotional side or your emotional fulfillment is yet not on the table, like it's not yet happening for some reason. This is all in regards to your family seeing you, so that means your family is very aware of that situation. How else does your family see you? Hermit. Again, so what's happening? The fourth pile, you'll have to excuse me, but what is this? So, Hermit, Ten of Cups, the things that I have told you. So, the Hermit is a very lonely person. The Hermit is someone who is not in a relationship. The Hermit is more introspective. This is not a fortunate card to fall in that context, meaning that you might be alone. Like, I don't know if what's your case. You could be with someone, but I don't see here fulfillment, to be honest. I know the Ten of Cups fell here in the reading, but to be honest, I don't sense here fulfillment on the emotional side of things. And when I say emotional, I mean family. I mean relationships that are based on understanding and intimacy. And really soulmates, partners, if you believe in soulmate, twin flame, whatever. That could be as well like passion, like connection, emotional connection. That's yeah. All of these, I don't see it being the case for some reason in your pile. Why? I have no idea. Like, I feel as though this is a challenge for you. This is a more of a challenge in your life, and I believe so in regards to this question for the reading. Your family really suffers as well because of that. You know, your family could be carrying your burdens alongside with you. They could be very aware of what you're going through, and they could be very suffering along the lines with how you do in regards to wanting like family. For example, if you want emotional fulfillment, then definitely here. Again, the King of Pentacles, like, I cannot make this up. The King of Pentacles fell again from a different deck in this reading. So the financial stuff, the financial realm, I don't feel as though this would be something that will like make you struggle a lot. I see money flowing, or if not right now, in the future will be flowing easily. I just see that emotional side of your life needing some sort of adjustment, or yeah, again, Page of Cups, like I'm talking about emotions, and look what's falling. So that means you'll have to be working through your emotions or through that blockage. Like, the moon strongly suggests to me that you're having some sort of PTSD moment. I'm not a psychologist, of course, and this reading, of course, is for entertainment purposes, but there is some sort of element here of that's pertaining to the trauma, or like, this is, I'm not going to talk in psychological terms. Because I'm not, as I said, I'm not the psychologist, and I have no right to discuss these in that terminology, but I want to tell you that you have some sort of baggage that's carrying, that you're carrying from the past, and it's strongly linked to the family, it's strongly linked to emotions, and to your overall emotional fulfillment here. By the way, it could be linked to that family dynamics, so that means your family could have been the the point from which this situation of emotions that I have showcased here is basically coming from. The Fool. Okay, so there is some sort of element here of unconventionality or being unconventional. Your family sees you as someone who's not following the rules, or your way of doing things are really different from what the majority considers them to be. Like, if people are going about in their life in a certain trajectory, you're definitely some sort of person who's challenging those patterns, those ways of how things should and shouldn't be going, and the direction in which they are going. Basically, that's what I saw here in those combinations of cards, as you being very unconventional and very stubborn and indifferent towards the opinions of others. This could as well be in regards to your family. That means you don't care what your family thinks about the rights and wrongs. You are just building your way, carving your way through life, and not giving something about what other people think of you, of your ways, basically. Let's not steer away from the question for this reading. How does your family see you? Four of Swords, that's someone, again, the Magician, okay. Four of Swords, someone who's very closed off from the world. You could be someone who's very closed off from the society, or from gatherings in general. Like, you could be a very lonesome person. I saw that with the Hermit. Four of Swords could be someone as well who likes to work on their hobbies, who likes to create stuff. Like, you could be like an introverted person, overly introverted, by the way, with the Four of Swords. Like, this could be like in your detriment. Like your family sees you as someone who's way too much introverted. Like, you should be more outgoing, you should be more going out. The Magician is someone as well. I'll repeat myself maybe, if I didn't tell you, but you could be someone who's interested in witchery, in witchcraft, in occult stuff as well. Could be tarot cards, scrying, palmistry, future predictions, divination, whatever it is. This is more, that's the occult realm, the unknown. I'm surprised as well the High Priestess didn't show up in the reading, but this is like a magician, like someone who likes to delve into some mystical stuff. Especially you like to delve into that stuff alone because of that card. Like, I imagine you being that person, that hermit who lives in a house and doesn't go outside, only maybe when it's absolutely necessary, but in their like free time I see you as like exploring the occult, the magic, the everything that's related to like the unknown or the mysterious subjects, you know. Your family is definitely as well aware of that. Ace of Cups. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how tired I am to see that message being being shown again, of you being really disappointed, you being really emotionally either burnt out or disappointed in life. I don't know which is the case, but there is a strong here blockage that's coming here with the emotions. I don't know what's happening and what is your story, but if you feel like dropping it into the comments, I guess it will make much more sense. King of Wands. So as well, interestingly enough, your lack let's say, or it's not lack, it's really a blockage that's coming into the emotional side, like in the emotional realm of your being, is being compensated with the one's energy. That means you could have lots of ideas, you could be very passionate, all of the same time you having the passion, you having the money, but everything but not your emotions sorted out. So you could be compensating with your passionate aspect, like you could be very goal oriented. Let's see what else. Like okay, 8 of Wands. As I said, so multiple passions. You could have as well like a multiple. You could have multiple skills, or you have a desire to learn lots of skills. Like I see here a person, despite the fact that they are very closed off from the world, I sense you as someone who's very capable of bringing a lot of value and lots of insight and basically skill to the world, which is very weird because maybe that's like a phase in your life, and when your cups sorry, when your situation with your emotion is going to be sorted out, it will be like an explosion, and all of the things that you have gathered emotionally wise, the passions that you were nurturing, this will all come to like to the light, and everyone will see that in your hermit mode you have managed to grow so much that you are now giving this value to the world. What else your family sees? So definitely here your family acknowledges your value, your skills, your excellence, and they want to see you in the spotlight. So your family definitely sees you as someone who's very talented but yet is not being acknowledged by the public. So I don't know who you are and what you're doing, but you definitely have the capacity to like be someone who's known for their uniqueness, for their specific life path that hasn't been, let's say, very pleasant, but yet you manage to somehow extract those insights and knowledge that's necessary for you to advance and to basically jump, let's say, jump steps of difficulty because you have gone through much worse, something like this. So I see someone who's very experienced because of that emotional blockage or whatever it is, you gaining some sort of energy and you deepening your experience because of that suffering, something like this. Weirdly enough, I understand that I'm steering away from the family seeing you, but I sense here a very interesting story that I cannot let it slip away, basically. So 10 of Pentacles tells me that you're going to be successful in whatever endeavor that's that's being discussed here. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. Like, if your situation right now financially is not one that's considered to be fortunate, the scales will basically turn in your favor. Trust me, time will make you justice. Things will change drastically for you, especially with the justice. It will be a very it will be like a very abrupt change that will happen in your favor. Like whatever it was that you were gathering, all the 10 of Swords, all the distresses, I don't know if that's the word, all the pain that you have undergone will transform into such a beautiful way of you making your living in a very effortless, let's say, manner. And this emotional blockage, this emotional pain that I have described, in time you'll see that it will be so worth it that you will not even understand. Like, you'll see that you'll even understand that the suffering in life that we are meant to go through is very formative. It's very worth going through because pain deepens you, and it really makes you go through some depths of you that were previously unknown. Because yeah, pain is very formative. unfortunately. I believe that, and I believe I really wanted like transformations to be less painful, but I believe that the deeper we can go, the greater the insight, or the greater is the rise that's following, you know. You'll see that emotions and emotional pains can be transformed and purified into their highest form, but this will be something that will happen in the future. I would expect you as well to form some sort of ideology, or maybe even like life philosophy in regards to pain or emotional pain because of your experience. But expect that you'll not be understood. Like either that's like coming from your family, or that's like something that's, let's say metaphorically, if you believe in destiny, like this is metaphorically written in your destiny. The fact that you have to undergo some sort of formative pain experience that will give you insights. Those insights are meant to be shared with the world. Then you will not be understood, but in time people will see and grasp the wisdom that you give. This is very weird, this is very powerful as a message, but I guess it was so important that it basically penetrated that intent of me wanting to show what your family sees about you. But this is crazy. The Wheel of Fortune, so that's like the fated moment. The Knight of Cups. Your emotional side will restore, and it will restore in such a quality that you don't expect. Time. Time will be the factor here that's like defining the change that I'm talking about. It makes me a little sad that you have to go through this all alone. For some reason. I don't know why, but this is like that hermit mode, that phase of your life in which you're going to be alone, whatever the case may be, for how long it may be, I don't know, but it feels as though it's like a necessary thing for you to go through, no matter what's the case. Like that suffering that I was describing emotionally is necessary, and you'll see what I'm talking about with the 6, or what's that, basically with time. 5 of Wands. Yeah, this is all worth it, but yeah, unfortunately you'll have to see that in time. And I don't know if you believe in soul contracts, but your soul contract was very intense, was very intricate in its details and the way you are going to rise. Again, like this pile has to go through, or had to go through pain in order for them to grow emotionally, or for them to reform their emotional side. If you've heard about this, like some people, the ones who want to build muscle, they have to break it. Like this case is definitely yours. You opted in for basically breaking your emotional muscle, and you aimed for a very huge workout schedule, because you broke your muscle to such a degree that now it has to build up back again, but in a better force, in a better quality, sorry. So as I said, this is like this pile, this was all of course in regards to as well how your parents or your family sees you, but there is a strong individual here that's like linked to the spiritual, and linked to the reflection, to the introspection, to the spiritual side, to the unknown, to the moon as well. Hermit, Magician, lots of cards that signify a strong individual, someone who is strong, especially in those emotional and like spiritual ways, you know. Because 7 of Swords, you see that man, like it says here, hope, reflection. You're definitely someone who's very complicated, to say the least. because complicated is not the word. It's much more beyond that. But let me tell you one thing is that your parents, your family is very aware of this dynamic, in the fact that your sufferings, your way of living, your parents, your family, sorry, I continue confusing those, see a lot of those. Like, I'd be expecting for them to be connected to some sort of degree to what's happening with you, and yeah, just being the being the stage, you watching you on the stage, something like this, seeing you of what's unfolding for you, basically. And you've got huge respect, I can say that for sure. With this pile, this is a very spiritual pile, to be honest. Like, every pile surprised me, but yeah, that's like, so I guess that was your reading. Oh, let me draw some cards of advice for you, though I have covered lots of things already. I think that I want to mention here is the fact that in advice it's telling me that you should remind yourselves that the nature of your experiences are always temporary. Nothing is permanent. So if you've got something that's really painful, if you've got something that's really unbearable to feel, know that this is all passing by. This is all like the nature of all emotions, and you'll notice that the stories that you tell yourselves are all containing an emotional element. So if you keep in mind that these things are temporary, you'll have the strength to continue on and to have hope that things will turn for the better, and they will, trust me. You'll just have to wait. You'll have to be present enough to acknowledge the value of your journey, the stage in which you are being placed right now, and to acknowledge that this is all necessary, and this step, no matter how painful it might be, is a necessary ingredient to your progression, your evolution, and that when you'll reach the point in time that I am telling you, in which you'll understand it all, you'll understand that you were on the right path all along, and that you couldn't really steer away from something that is really yours and was yours from the beginning. And that if you had that like mindset from the beginning, then every stage, every step of the way would have been all that's needed, that's necessary, and you'd be present in each of your experiences, no matter how intense or not they might be or might have been, or whatever the case may be. So that was your reading. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to comment below your story if you feel called to do so. This fourth pile is very intriguing, to say the least. But that was like something. Again, like, I hope it resonated. There might be some details here that might not resonate, of course. But if the story was not about you, most likely that was not your pile. But yeah, that was all I wanted to say. Take care of yourselves. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Of course, if you want to see more like this, and like the video if you enjoy the message that I have conveyed. Till then, stay safe. Till my next video, I guess. Just kidding, like, you should be safe all the time, but take care of yourselves, and hope to see you in my next videos. Bye.